Estamos aqui em Castro para a Agroleite, a maior exposição da pecuária leiteira nacional. E vamos entrevistar aqui o Trapp, que é um analista de touros da ABS global e vai ser o juiz da raça holandesa. Paul, you are a site analyst for ABS Global for more than 17 years. And through this period, what change have you seen?
There's certainly been a lot of changes over the years, Klaus. Certainly the number of bulls that we've sampled over the years, and more recently with genomics has certainly changed how we select bulls around the globe. Continue to sample roughly 200 bulls in the United States and bulls throughout Europe, bulls in the history such as Shottle, and we'll continue to get bulls out of Europe, and the majority of our bulls will be out of the U.S. But probably the biggest change is the number we've sampled. Used to be as probably high as 280 and probably is going to be closer to just over 200 bulls. And genomics has allowed us not only to do a better job of selecting those bulls, but also getting those quality bulls to our customer at a faster rate, getting them better genetics to shorten that generation interval and make more profitable individuals for our customers.
How do you see the ABS American customers' needs from genetics?
The needs of our customers in the United States has continued to change. We're having larger dairies and move and shift of people milking more cows than they have in the past. So the demands of those larger dairies are different than they once were. One of those big things is a very good customer service that we need to provide to our customers, and from a genetic standpoint, they're looking for cows that are more profitable and really trouble-free, cows that are more moderate in stature, breed back quickly, and are very feed efficient and make the dairy very profitable. Is what our U.S. customers are looking for a genetic standpoint. I think in Brazil, after talking with yourself and several of your salespeople, some of the main focuses in the past that I've traveled here as well has always been the color of the bull, wanting the darker pigmentation of the skin due to the high intensity of the heat. So, and heat tolerant is another thing that I continue to hear why I'm in Brazil, the needs from the customer.
Can you draw a parallel between the American dairy producers and Brazilian dairy producers?
Yeah, I think much like the U.S. customers, the Brazilian customers want the same thing, and they want a profitable cow that's going to last a long time. We need to concentrate on those reproductive things, make a profitable cow in a more of a moderate size package to make a profitable cow that's long-lasting, whether she lives in the United States or in Brazil.
This is your first time here in Agroleite?
Yes, it's my first time to the expo here.
And you're enjoying that?
Yeah, certainly been very good so far, and look forward to judging the Holsteins and red and whites later this week.
You already judged more than 10 different countries. What have you seen, and what's your thoughts about the differences between the regions or the countries, the genetics or the kind of cattle?
ABS has been very supportive of my judging career, so I thank my boss, if he's listening, for supporting my career and many of our distributors around the world. And it's something that I certainly enjoy, evaluating cattle, and I started as a young boy doing that, and I've done it throughout my career. Judging cattle as you travel around, I think people are looking for the similar things. They're looking for a cow that spells a lot of milk with a fantastic udder and that is very mobile on her feet and legs. And I think regardless of whether if you're in the U.S., Canada, Brazil, or Japan, they're looking for the similar type of cattle in the show.
What's the big challenge in judging cattle, and what the changes have you seen during the time?
I don't know. The judging biggest challenge probably is the excitement or anticipation. Any show that I judge, I always get excited. You get butterflies. You're hopeful of what you may find or that individual. I always try and find an individual that you fall in love with, that makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up. And when I see her, it makes my judging job a lot easier. Some of the evolutions or changes that I've seen in my judging career is probably the stature is probably the bigger thing. We want a cow that's big enough, but we don't have to line them up with a yardstick. You can have extremely balanced cows that exude a lot of dairiness and spell a lot of quality from end to end, and that's probably changes that we've seen over the last years. It used to be the biggest would win. Now it's about balance. It's about the spell milk from end to end. It's the quality and the outstanding udders that we have had in recent years has certainly gotten better in the last 10 years, and also very mobile cows. So it's about the whole package and how that cow's evolved, that they have to be big enough but not monster big, but have to exude dairy quality that any dairyman would appreciate looking at every day.
And how do you see the ABS current lineup?
Well, as a sire analyst, I guess we get to put it out there, so I'd almost have to turn that question back to our marketing department, and sometimes they like it, and sometimes they always have some nice suggestions for us. But we work very hard to try and give a lineup that our customers around the globe wants to use genetics from ABS, whether it might be polled as an area that we've added in the last several years, or whether it's more a net profit, more of a modest sized cow that is higher in components or production. And our sire acquisition team listens to our marketing people from around the world to try and deliver what they want, and we do our very best to decide that. So.
And how do you see, in your point of view, what's the difference that our lineup have or ABS have?
I think ABS has always been on the forefront of technology, whether it be in freezing semen or looking at different opportunities to make the best technology advances for our customers to make them profitable. And several of those, we're starting to come with some in-house indices, such as the real-world data, to see exactly how these animals are performing on farm, to give us better calving ease information, type of things. And also our new information with transition rights, that transition time of a cow from when she goes pre-calving to post-calving to deliver animals that are going to be profitable for a dairy. And then also our net profit genetics is another area where we can produce more of a commercial friendly individual that's profitable. So I think listening to the needs of our customers, developing genetics that not only do what we say, but also applying the technology that backs up that information.
And finally, you are a breeder at home. You have a family herd, and how do you start that, and what's your objectives on that?
I was raised on a registered Holstein herd, and so I've had that in my blood. We showed cows, we bred cows, so that's always been in my blood. My wife is also from a Holstein background, so it's kind of bred into us, if you will. We certainly enjoy that as a hobby. Our stem into brown Swiss and Jersey has happened, quite honestly, with some friends over a few beers and say, hey, let's buy a cow, and it's kind of stemmed from there. So it's been a great opportunity, and we've had one of my best friends owns brown Swiss with us. He had the pleasure to be my associate judge at World Dairy Expo, and we've bred a number of Swiss, I think approaching 20 All-American nominated brown Swiss, and certainly been a pleasure to work with Tom, and he's my best friend for 20 years, and he's also been an ABS representative in Minnesota for over 20 years. So it's been a fun adventure for us.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Pleasure. Thank you.